Doesn't she look pretty? I don't use Satsuki anymore because I don't like her attacks. But she looks so pretty. Darling, you look so cute. Thank you. Anyways, we're gonna do some gacha before we get into this. I have 3 pulls. Come on. Give me an elegant purple lady.
Hi, I'm here.
No. I don't care. We have 1 more pull. Come on.
Excuse me, is this the way?
Yes. Come on. Motherfucker.
Hello, Miss Timekeeper. We're a team now.
Bitch. Anyways. In the last episode of Reverse 1999, I am an idiot. Last time I recorded a video for Reverse 1999, I was very ill. I was getting over an illness. And so I only played the first 2. So only the first 2 parts of the start of the interchapter between chapter Thingy-mabobby and Thingy-mabobby. I don't know, how many chapters have there been? Chapter 5 and chapter 6. No, chapter 7. What? It says chapter 7. Oh, they're counting the interchapter as a separate chapter. Okay, cool. I don't fucking know. But yeah. So, we're going straight into this. I'm hopefully, the ideal plan is to finish the star. It's a short, chapter. It's a short chapter. I think there's only 6 parts. So, we just need to smash 4 parts out of the way in this one video. And then next week we'll get into the new chapter. I haven't seen anything about the new chapter. I don't know the story. All I know is that there's pretty ladies. That's it. That's all I know. Pretty ladies. And that's really all I need to know. Tower of Babel, Part 3. Hello. Yes.
A mixture of arcanum and mathematics. The ship on the Mediterranean. Unbelievable. Our investigator actually met this group of Arcanists who believed in numbers, and even left such a precious record down on paper. Does it mean we are close to being helpful to Vertin?
That's what matters. We need to be helpful to Vertin. She is the main character. She does give off the main character energy. The chief assistant of the monitor assistant lets out a chair.
Certainly. It's what we deserve for all the efforts today. But why did they leave such an important report in the reference room storing unnecessary information?
Maybe someone didn't want you to find out about this information? I have a feeling that, I forgot what this place is called again. I'm sorry, it's been 2 weeks since I've properly digested the Reverse 1999, story. What's it fucking called again? Organization. I'm just gonna call it the organization. The company. The lethal company. Yeah. I could see probably some higher-ups not wanting certain information to come to light, so they probably just pushed it aside. I could see that happening, although we haven't met the big boss of the facility yet, so may not be a good theory, depending how he is, because we don't really have like a massive interaction with him.
Did they misput it here after the chaos of the storm?
Putting her confusion aside, Matilda turns to the next page of the record. St. Pavlov Foundation, motherfucker.
The most easygoing one was Hugh.
Oh, hello. Yes?
He was an engineer as well as an arcanist. We shared the same preference for human technology, and that became our common topic.
Okay.
Hugh was in his 30s, red-haired, cheeks sunken, and deeply depressed due to some kind of eye disease.
She's really giving us all the details about this Hugh. I don't think you really need to report that this guy is depressed due to a disease he has. I don't think you really need. I don't think that's sort of important information for you to report. But, anyways.
He was a decent man, with a prudent attitude, working at a desk most of the time. He reminded me of the imperial miniature painting artists in the Sultan's palace. Most of them ended up blind after toiling for their life. He showed me the picture of his daughter. I don't have children, but I could feel his happiness as a father.
This is a very informal report. I'm just saying. It's a very, very informal report.
Although I got along well with Hugh, he seemed quite out of place among that group, which was actually led by her.
You can tell the writer doesn't like her.
I don't know what words to use to describe her. She was like a meteor shower, a tempest, or an unreasonable catastrophe itself. Her existence was just like her name. It was simple, yet implied a lot.
Cool.
Please forgive me for my cowardice. Even now, I don't have the courage to write down her name. If one would call that a name.
Okay, whatever. Even now, I don't have the courage to write down her name. So, we don't know who this person is. We have no record of her name, most likely. So, I'm sorry, but you kind of fucked us over. I know you're probably dead and everything, but you may have fucked us over. Just saying. We don't know who her is, so. Could be Arcana. Could be Arcana. I mean, Arcana is a very, very pretty lady. And I wouldn't be surprised if she was hundreds of years old. I wouldn't be surprised. That isn't... that isn't an insult. But she seems like an older woman. She is an older woman. Physically, she is an older woman. But there's a certain sort of, like, age to her character. Like, she's timeless. I can't place her in a specific time. That's the feeling I get from Arcana. So it would be fitting if this sort of, like, mysterious female character, even though we've gotten no information from her because I haven't continued the story, could be Arcana. I'm just saying, I'm making theories up on the spot here, guys. I'm doing something. I'm not sure if I'm cooking good or if I'm cooking shit. But, you know, we're cooking either way.
In fact, she was quite a kind, warm-hearted person.
Okay, it is an Arcana.
Among all the unregistered Arcanists I've met, she was one of the nicest ones towards the Foundation.
Yeah, this is an Arcana. Unless this is the past of Arcana. Everything's about Arcana now, guys. Come on. I can't stop thinking about her. Ugh.
She looked young, even though I heard she had a daughter too. Besides, she still possessed the innocence of a child, and that kind of excitement exclusive for genius. That's right. It seemed the whole world was like a sparkling toy.
Is this 37's mum? This is probably 37's mum, actually. This is probably 37's mum. It is 37, right? I'm saying 37, I could be wrong. Shut up. It's been a long while, okay? It could be 37's mum then. It is 37's mum. That's most likely what.
Our communication was heart-stirring at the beginning. Both of us were eager to find out what was happening. Like two shipwrecked victims grappling at each other on the sea. But I didn't have the slightest idea what she was talking about, actually. The problem was not the typical communication issues between humans and Arcanists. I was sure the language we used didn't pose any obstacles. But still, I couldn't understand any words of hers. I would believe that one is highly intelligent if one can name all the factors of 11,567 without thinking.
Huh?
But what this one said was illogical nonsense which no one could ever imagine. She claimed that there is a world of numbers, above all else, where the non-physical essences of all things exist
Which
in
is
the
the
form of
island
timeless,
that we went to.
absolute, unchangeable ideas, and that the physical world where the time flows is nothing but an appendage. which has never been real or true. And that's why the chaos in this world is not worth any attention, and we should focus on what happened to the supreme existence.
Supreme existence.
What an utter disaster combining modern maths with ancient superstition. I saw another hubristic arcanist pretending to be the prophet by reliving Platonism. I don't even bother to mention the balderdash on soul numbers. Even the New Age movement could use some of her absurdity. But that was not yet the end. She even claimed to be aware of the exact year when the next reverse would happen. But when I asked her about it seriously, she said,
My apologies. I've made an oath. I shall and only shall reveal the demonstration to people who have their own soul numbers.
I'm not sure whether she was making fun of me or being serious, but I had this feeling that she was eager to tell me how she was granted the secret through a moment of afflatus. It seemed she just saw through the laws behind all things instead of finding them through logical deduction.
Can't you see it? It is right in front of you.
After I expressed my inability to comprehend her words 30 times, she finally gave up and proffered regrets. I'd rather take it as a new kind of humiliation. What really irritated me about her, however, was her contempt towards science and all the scientific research methods.
Oh boy.
As far as I'm concerned, the value of a theory lies in its reliability, universality, and generalizability. Our pursuit of the truth has laid the foundation of modern science, allowing us to change the world.
True. In positive and in negative ways.
Yet, in her eyes, the value of a theory lies in its beauty. I talked to her on the current situation, and I told her how we would save lives and preserve the hard-earned technology of mankind if we could find the pattern of the storm. It was of course not an easy thing to do and would take enormous manpower, so I asked her sincerely to join the Foundation.
But she wouldn't.
Yet again she responded with contempt. She believed they would only become another military squad of the Foundations.
Which they probably would have.
Darling, maths are beautiful for their uselessness.
Maths is beautiful for its uselessness. I've never heard a more truer statement. Is maths... Okay, people are going to disagree with the beautiful part, but there's something that tickles my brains when you give me a page and it's just filled with numbers or words. I don't care if it makes sense. If it's filled up a page of just numbers and words, it's aesthetically pleasing to my brain. That space, that empty space is filled. That's what I think. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Especially when it's done very, very neatly and organized. Ah, beautiful, beautiful.
That's why it
Tickles
remains
my
noble
brain.
and graceful in this sordid world, despite you humans' reckless action of using it to calculate ballistic.
She turned down my invitation and left an unfairly negative comment on our storm observation project.
The observation stations you built are destined to be toppled because their basis is the fragile world that follows the laws of physics. The efforts you've made are like nails on a sand beach, which will only be carried away by the next tidal wave.
She's definitely 37's mother, isn't she?
But I said, perhaps our efforts are in vain, but someone has to do it. We will try every corner of the beach before making the conclusion that the world we are living in is already a hopeless ruin.
What a pragmatic, rigorous, and rational speech. But dear, the world is a hopeless ruin.
The conversation ended in disagreement. I don't know why Arcanists hate the world so much. Perhaps the reason is they have never been truly accepted. To this day, I still remember her venomous conclusion.
I like how she's really generalized Arcanist in this sense.
The world built
Interesting.
on past experiences has ended. In your words, which you used to mock us, why not embrace the reality?
I like her.
Yet about the gnosis which she deeply believed in, and the so-called prophecy she made through numbers, She had never given any proofs or details that showed rigorous logic. And the reason for her inactions was an oath she had made before some stone? Therefore, I believed her words were only the nonsense of a lunatic. When we first met, I thought she was different from all those psychos, who mistook the malfunction of their prefrontal cortex as the will of God. But they turned out to be the same.
So... the writer isn't really willing to... Interesting. So the writer is that sort of person. Okay.
In the name of human sense, I swore everything she said was absurd and ridiculous to me. Until...
Well? Cool.
Madame Z said the Arcanists on that island are all named after numbers because they have a strong belief that numbers are the essence of their souls. The investigator wouldn't write down her name. Is it because of the conflict between their beliefs?
Definitely a conflict between beliefs. Both were very, both of them had very strong beliefs that they weren't gonna budge from. And that definitely made their experience of each other a lot more sour. I mean, let's be honest, the writer did just mark up in the end that her was a lunatic, was crazy. That's what she did, because she just wouldn't... I wouldn't say she wouldn't allow herself to understand, because, of course, she had no proper proof. There was no proof. And to her and to the writer, obviously, proof matters. She's a logical person. She believes in the sciences. She wants proof behind words. You give her a statement, she wants proof behind that statement. Her, however, is from the interesting island of numbers, which we all know they're all a bit... I'm not saying crazy, they're not crazy. They all are a bit strange when it comes to their beliefs. I wouldn't say strange, actually, no. They have a strong confidence in their beliefs of numbers, and their theories, and their everything. And so there was really not that much proof to give for what her was saying. It's very interesting. It's interesting. I like Reverse 999 because it just gives you sort of like perspectives of like different types of people. And I like that. I like to think about that. Matilda turns to the next page eagerly, as if checking a novel brought in class by some undisciplined student. But the reality welcomes her with an empty page. Ah, shit.
Huh? That's all?
We've run out of pages. Maybe because the story ends with an abrupt stop, or the hope just raised has dashed down. Matilda clenches her handkerchief with her sweaty palm.
Submitting such an unfinished report would only cause problems for the reviewers and evaluators, but this investigator didn't even write down their name. Don't worry, Miss Burnish. I'm familiar with this situation. Every time after the brave Typhon defeats Jupiter, he returns to the Auto Island.
Okay, so the beat. Explain.
But each time we twist the ear of Mr. Glassbox, Typhon will show up again and again.
Good thing that Sotheby is here. Good thing Sotheby is here.
Ms. Moisson told me the ear is the key to bringing back our hope. Wait, don't tell me you are talking about the shows on the mechanical television.
Ignoring the monitor assistant's confusion, the enthusiastic young lady starts looking around for the ear that carries all her hope.
Stop, Miss Sotheby. Please, take a seat on the cushion and listen to me carefully. This is is a detailed report written by a formal investigator of the Foundations, not some TV show full of cliffhangers. That means we will definitely find the rest somewhere. Oh, I see. Must be a coco-treant who took away the other part of the book. Usually, they will be attracted by Luna Fixer, and by following their traces, we'll find their lairs in the stable.
I'm so confused right now. Sotheby just goes off and says things, and I'm here just sitting down, just being like, huh? What? Huh?
You mean someone took it away? That's highly possible. Data loss is not allowed in the Foundation, especially under the Monitor Assistance Management. We must prepare Luna Fixer. Don't forget their favorite jigging magical beans.
Huh?
I don't have those materials with me right now, but I can write to them. It only takes a month.
We don't have a month, darling. Oh, English, work with me. Disconcerting conversation is clearly too much for this rigorous monitor assistant.
Nuh-uh, we don't need that.
After taking a deep breath, Matilda takes out her crystal orb. An ambitious smile spreads over her face.
You've perfectly accomplished the task from me when you found this valuable report. Well done, Assistant Sotheby. Now it's time for the great Matilda to show a little bit of her greatness.
Woo! We're scribing. I think that's the word. Oh, no, we're to be continued. Okay. We're not scribing just yet. Yellow. Yellow. Divination in the Day, Part 4. Oh, shit. We're back here. There is no moonlight during the daytime. But the moon is not the only choice for divination.
Judging from the omen, it's at the northwest, the beginning and the ending of the ring, where the wall reflects repeatedly.
Holding the crystal orb with both hands, Matilda keeps adjusting her position while trying to figure out the vague vision in the sphere. Sotheby follows her with a curious face.
The northwest of SPDM. This one is straightforward. The beginning and the ending of the ring is not a problem either. The icon of the computing center is exactly the Ouroboros, a serpent eating its own tail. Here we are. But where the wall reflects repeatedly, does that mean a closed room with mirrors? The mirror in the display center is a huge kinescope in the wall. And the one in the airtight laboratory is a crystal clear observation window. The one in the rehab center? No. The mirrors in the operation room have been replaced with curved electronic screens of steel structure after that xenopilot made a scene. So, where is the answer?
She slowly turns around, trying to find the perfect angle for a clearer vision. A white figure storms away from her side, almost bumping off the orb she tightly holds.
Hey! You just hit me! Shouldn't you apologize?
Where did you come from, dork? Wasting my time.
Okay, mate, chill with the aggressiveness, chill. The man groans a curse and hastily leaves this place with his hands covering his nose and mouth. The fuck?
What? How could he say that? That's rude! That gentleman doesn't look well. He's covering his face. His nose is running with purple liquid. Oh dear. Did he drink a whole bottle of purple Chrysandra juice?
Sure, let's go with that.
He needs treatment immediately. Oh, if only I had brought the Phoenix heart nerves with me. He ran towards the rehab center. Nothing to worry about. Just another patient trying to prove he has recovered.
The hasty man has disappeared completely, little incident doesn't raise anyone's attention.
The rehab center has all the facilities and medicines he needs. He will be properly treated. But why is he wearing the uniform of Laplace?
I don't know.
And where's the receptionist here?
The lobby of the Scientific Computing Center welcomes them with a deafening silence. Is there something going on? The counter is no longer busy with people, but with an auto-recognition device instead.
Does everyone go to the weekend party night?
I wish. Propping around the counter, the temporary investigator seems determined to dig out a party gramophone from somewhere.
Absolutely not. The researchers here are too busy to do that.
Well, something's obviously going on.
The computing center is working on the most urgent and vital project, the research on the immunity to the storm. We should not disturb them unless it's an emergency. So please stop calling the office and put down the telephone, Miss Sotheby. This is not the ear of a tea kettler, and it won't take you to any twist balls.
The monitor assistant can't stand the difference in their terminology anymore.
Je sais qu'il est débutant, mais quand même, il est trop bizarre. Guide new members with caution and patience. Trigger the afflatus at the right time. J'avoue que Verten a remporté une victoire temporaire sur ça.
Oh, it's okay, Matilda, darling. Her mumbling is interrupted by the owner of the cheerful footsteps.
Miss Boonish, I just read the map on the counter. You mentioned where the wall reflects repeatedly. Does the vision refer to the racquetball center here? You see, its icon is a bouncing ball. Let me take a look.
Ayo. Sotheby helpfulness. Times are 10. Oh, we're in the rehabilitation center.
This is really the right direction. Next, empty boxes, glasswares, and copper pieces. Looks like our destination has piles of metal.
The vision in the orb is growing clearer, proving that they're heading in the right direction. That eases Matilda's upset mind.
Good job, Assistant Sotheby. I have to say, I might have gone a bit too hard on you. You are more capable than I thought. Thanks to your prompt reminder, we have saved quite some time. Sotheby is glad to help.
The young lady gladly hops along the way, while she doesn't give up peering at Matilda's crystal orb.
Miss Boonish, since you're such a talented diviner, why don't you just divine the reason for the storm with your inherited arcanum ability? According to Ms. Moisson, the reason still remains a mystery. If the crystal orb can reveal its truth, everything will be much easier for Vertin and her team. Divine the reason for the storm?
The brave assumption astonishes this great diviner. Diviner. I'm gonna go with diviner. She almost drops the orb.
That's impossible for sure. It's a typical mistake of laymen to believe one can see everything through divination. You are an expert on potions and arcane creatures, but you have little knowledge on other subjects. Haven't you received any systematic education on arcanum? Education on arcanum? I'm, of course, well educated in arcanum, with Ms. Moisson as my tutor, and my arcane friends such as Typhon from the Auto Island, Jupiter, and... All right, enough!
She shakes her head, stopping her from listing another name for an arcane creature nobody's ever heard of.
I have understood the fact that the education you have received is not systematical, or say incomplete, imperfect, inelegant. But don't worry, because you are talking to the kind-hearted Matilda. She will spend her valuable time to make it up for you.
The great monitor assistant clears her throat, starts recalling what she learned when she was 12.
In fact, the system of arcanum knowledge is not completely separated from that of human science. For example, the mother pharmacy and chemistry actually originated from the experiments of potions and alchemy in the ancient times. They developed into two different systems because Arcanists focused more on the knowledge ignored by scientists, which is gnosis. The knowledge we learn from divination is exactly under this category. Wow!
Sloppy's eyes light up with amazement. Tilla takes out her notebook and draws a brief sketch in it. Oh.
Let me fill you in with more details. If
Hello?
two human researchers test Snell's law at two different places at the same time without making any mistakes, they will always reach the same conclusion.
Makes sense.
Or if two potionists use the same ingredients and follow the same formula to make the cough cough stop stop potion separately, their products will also have similar effects. However, if two diviners respectively perform divination on the same thing, they will probably see totally different visions. Because what the divination shows is merely omens. The interpretation of these omens is in fact a kind of subjective deduction based on the reality, and there is no such thing as a standard answer. Even if the two diviners draw the same conclusion, it is more of a coincidence than a result that implies generalizability. So diviners never check the accuracy of their divination through the review of peers. And this is an example of gnosis. Unlike human sense, it is unique and possesses no universality.
She puts it away and wiggles her index finger.
In other words, even if someone finds out a reason for the storm through divination, they can't have other diviners verify it, because 100 different diviners will give out 100 different conclusions. The scene will be even busier than a concert at Music Verein. That being said, the more possible result we get from the divination is nothing. Divination cannot bring knowledge which the diviners have never learned. The divination of such world-class knowledge, as complicated as the reason for the storm, can only be performed by world-class diviners. We may find one or two diviners like that if time continues to be reversed. Like Nostradamus. But he lived in the 16th century. Besides, even Nostradamus is not always right. But Miss Boaniche is. Thanks to your divination, we're getting closer and closer to that report, right? You are right! Finding items, interpreting dreams, and making simple prophecies. All these things are just a breeze for the bright and clever Matilda. But inquiring about the storm is beyond my ability, and it will only bring misfortune. I will never make such a stupid mistake.
Tilla regains her radiant appearance.
In fact, this half of the report and the handwriting of the author are perfect divination media.
Okay.
Besides, our target is not far away from us, and I'm familiar with the surroundings, which have made things much easier than usual. It is true diviners can improve the accuracy and controllability of their gnosis by practicing repeatedly, holding the rituals properly, and making targeted preparations. But that still doesn't mean the result will be absolutely accurate.
Sloppy nods. No one can tell from her face whether she truly understands that announcement or not. Reading the vision in the orb, Matilda leads Sotheby around another corner nimbly.
The report says that person who mentioned the school of numbers claimed she was enlightened about the year of the next storm. Is that also by divination? I am not sure what kind of arcane skills they used, but numbers are indeed a kind of omen too. I am not talking about the specific knowledge of mathematics, but the numbers themselves, because they are even more abstract than images and languages as kind of symbol. Even so, there is no way for us to verify this prophet, unless it really comes true. That is also why it takes almost nothing to spread a prophecy. My mother told me many people in the outside world write to the Foundation every day, claiming to be prophets who can predict the doomsday and thus requesting unemployment benefits. The doomsday? Unemployment benefits? Oh my! The outside world is far more wonderful than I thought. How fascinating. This Boaniche is even greater than I expected. You bet. Wait, did you mean I was not the greatest?
God damn it. They have reached the end of the corridor. Matilda puts away the orb and looks at the wooden door with no sign in front of her. This is where the vision leads them to, the room next to the racquetball center.
Here we are, Miss Sotheby. Now, this is the moment to verify the result of my divination.
Oh, squeaky door. Love that. She opens the door with a slight push. To be continued. Okay. To be continued. I don't want to listen to Grandma. Please.
If you look at the ground after the rain, you can...
I don't want to listen to Grandma. Please, please don't make me listen to Grandma. I'm not in the mood to listen to Grandma. Grandma can go fuck off. No. 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 Okay, I took a 2-3 hour nap. Because I was extremely tired. Guys, I woke up at fucking 5 a.m. today. I needed another nap in the day. I'm surprised it took me until like 1 a.m. for me to be like, yeah, I need a nap. I need to just sleep. Anyways, we're skipping Grandma because I don't want to deal with this shit.
Don't see any...
I love Grandma sometimes. Sometimes she adds flavor. Other times I can't be bothered to deal with the dog pile of dialogue. I love Grandma, but I'm sorry. She is one of my least favorite things in this fucking game. It's the truth, okay? It's the truth. I have opinions about Grandma. The Lament in Silence, Part 5. Yes. Oh, this is fun. The light is dim in here. What sound are we on? Oh, we'll see what that's like. Archive cabinets and unorganized files are everywhere, punctuated by strange devices in the place style. Seems like an abandoned utility room.
Where are we? Lost and found at the racquetball center.
I gotta say, I'm gonna say this kind of looks like the... Okay, this is a whole entire room, and I have a small desk, but this looks like the area around my desk. I have shit on my desk at the moment because I got new goodies that to decorate my bag with, so you know, girly got excited and just left all the trash on her table, and she has a pile of shit in the corner of her room because she can't be bothered to deal with it at the moment. I am actually having to deal with it at the moment though, but you know what? It's there still. I need to finish dealing with it, but you know.
The orb showed copper pieces. We need to find something that seems to be locked, but is actually not.
Okay, a stuck drawer.
Found it! Nothing can stop the genius, Matilda.
She finds what she's looking for in a rusty drawer. There you go. Obviously, a report has been here for a very long time. Oh, unsorted and low priority. Interesting. Its corners curl because of the damp air. Luckily, the writing is still recognizable. Back in again.
The trip to Egypt didn't go smoothly. The ship was hit by a common storm at sea. We were lost in the fog after that, completely off course. Then something emerged from the water. Since the first storm, the Foundation has received frequent sightings of arcane creatures which should have been extinct in history.
I like how they did this. This is cool. You got like the mouth that's like blowing on the ship. Oh, that's so cool.
I had no idea what I was shooting at, even after I emptied the clip. And I didn't know what to do. So the Arcanists brought us back on course. She names the precise longitude and latitude of our location, even without using the sextant in the spare cabin.
Can we just appreciate how much effort this probably took the Reverse 1999 team to sort of like figure out? Like this is paper crafts. Like goddamn.
I wonder how she did that. Perhaps the world did look different in her eyes. Then when I was about to step on a random plank on the ship, she suddenly dragged me back. I thought it was only an inappropriate joke. But the next second, the plank broke. I was stunned. And as to how she saw that coming, she just answered me as if we were talking about the weather.
Because that plank is deformed like a rhombus.
I was confused. Where is the rhombus? She laughed.
The rhombus can't be seen with eyes. You shall close your eyes, hearken to the teaching of the Supreme Existence, and seize the moment of afflatus.
Yeah.
Of
Sure.
course, I didn't see anything. Nor did I understand what the moment of afflatus was. Perhaps it's just another privilege enjoyed by Arcanists, just like their right to be lunatic.
Okay, lady, chill.
Nevertheless, she reached the correct conclusion in a completely wrong way. Is it really possible? Anyway, she saved my life. But that was not enough to settle the differences between us. She remained rejective to working with the Foundation. And I finally gave up on the attempt to persuade them. My mission on that trip was not to make contact with them. Besides, what we needed was builders of the storm observation system, not some liars who would only make things worse. As for the shelter they took from the storm, she wouldn't say a word, as if she were dealing with a spy who tried to find out the deepest secrets of the Arcanists. In the end, Hugh mediated between us. He gave me an address in Istanbul to which I could send the letters to contact them.
Istanbul.
After that, I spent more than half a year in the Egypt office. Things were even worse there than I expected. Some have gone missing after the storm. The people who were supposed to be in the Egypt office, according to the member list stored in the headquarters in 1985, were not there when I arrived. The situation could be caused by the limitations of the transmission of paper-based materials, or because the computer was not yet popularized to every corner of the globe at the time. One minor mistake of a copyist could develop into a huge difference. Besides that, the chaos inside Laplace was an even worse issue. I learned that someone published the paper Samplings of Global and Regional Chaotic Energy Route Changes in the name of Butterfly of Lorentz. Apparently they secretly used our sampling sites, yet their research direction and conclusion were radically different from Laplace's. The researchers equally divided into two schools, one sticking to the human technology they have focused on, and one changing their direction to Arcanum. At the time, it was still too early to decide which direction was right, without sufficient experimental data. But many already believed that if time continued to be reversed, human technology would only keep falling into decline, while Arcanum, which relies on personal ability, would rise again.
I'm sorry, I got distracted. There's a fucking eye in the butterfly wing. Holy shit. That goes hard.
It's true that Gnosis cannot be copied, verified by an independent third party, or comprehended through reasoning. Its nature decides that it cannot lay the foundation of science or be popularized to every ordinary person. It takes solid marble to build a castle, not slippery sand. Even so, what harm will it do to rely on Arcanum, when the underlying logic of all things has become unreasonable? Before the disagreement was settled, the storm in 1987 was predicted. We were ordered to return to the headquarters 24 hours before its arrival, but the prediction was not accomplished by Laplace. A captive from Manus Vindictae names the precise date of that storm. Our enemies, those lunatic xenophobes, valuing only pure blood, made it further than we did. Yes, we built observation stations, we made countless deductions, we developed multiple simulation models, we made efforts, we sacrificed life. We did whatever we could. Yet the result was that we didn't find any other regions immune to the storm, except the headquarters and another one in North America. In the end, 95% of the branch members were reversed. 87.9% of the equipment was destroyed, and 100% of our predictions failed. In conclusion, our endeavor brought no achievements. As for the captive from Manus Vindictae, the delirium patient who claims that oracles flowed under his parietal bone, when we asked him how he learns the precise date of the storm, he burst into laughter.
Ooh.
Can't you hear it? Has God left you behind when he spread his grace?
Then he smashed his own skull with a handcuff.
Oh, shit.
Yes, there was no doubt. He was an incurable lunatic. But his insane nonsense was exactly the reason we survived the storm again. No matter how unreasonable or illogical it was, or how much a lie it sounded like. So we'd better believe we shouldn't go out in black today because the fish is swimming in the water. We'd better believe in the existence of the non-physical, everlasting, transcendent world where everyone's soul is a number. We'd better believe in the supreme existence which caused the disorder of time by merely casting its shadow. That means the life of individuals means nothing more than rubbish, and the world is but an imperfect ruin, where only the chosen ones will pass the trial, where the rest will be eliminated by the rain. How am I supposed to do that? Finally, I made up my mind to write to her. I didn't expect her to answer my questions. All I wanted was to confirm if she had survived that storm, for the sake of our peaceful talk about the rhombus. Yet what I heard from them was a simple announcement of her death. With only 2 words. She died. Then it burned and turned to ashes in a second. On the same day, the first and only timekeeper who just took office, the 12-year-old child, returned alone from the storm.
Timekeeper. Burton.
She told us the time in the outside world at that point, and that was how I knew she was right. It is right in front of you. But if there is a God, why are you playing such a prank on us after we had suffered from the collapse of all the existing orders and the failure of all the great laws? If this is what she calls a glimpse of the supreme existence, the moment of afflatus, do you have to present it in such a cruel way? The last 2 digits in the number of the year after that storm were exactly her name and her number, 77.
Oh. So we do have a record of her name now. Her number, 77. 37. The report ends here. 2 digits. That's the full stop of the story.
Incroyable! Incroyable! C'est vrai! Quelqu'un a vraiment fait cette prophétie! Bertin and Sonetto will be thrilled to know what we found! Well done, Miss Sotheby! You performed as well as a formal investigator! We need to submit this report to your instructor immediately!
Grabbing the papers tightly, Matilda turns around with excitement. Sotheby isn't the person standing there. Oh no.
What are you doing in other people's rooms?
Hello, good sir. May I assist you? The report is snatched away.
This is my personal item. You have no rights to take it.
Sir, we've been searching for this item for like a while. Can we just like... We're giving a report for our friend. Can we just... Can you just like photocopy it at least? Like, come on.
Please leave immediately.
Fuck's sake.
Personal item? This is a precious record that should have been submitted to the Foundation. According to Administration and Regulations for Dispatch Personnel, St. Pavlov Foundation Decree number 259, every member of the Foundation, when acting as a field investigator, is required to create a comprehensive investigation report of all their actions and promptly submit it.
And they are obliged to ensure the authenticity, objectivity, and impartiality of the report. No personal bias is allowed in the content.
Ah, yeah, okay.
If you have read this report, miss, You should know that it's not even qualified to be filed.
Is a
This
very
is an emergency!
is a very yeah. Not a very professional report, that's all I'll say. The Storm Reformation Act is still new to her. She can't think of any articles to support her point of view. She racks her brain for words, but before she makes it, the other person starts talking, with one of his eyebrows raised.
I can tell from your uniform, you are a student of SPDM, or this is Laplace. Do you have your guardian's approval to leave the school, Miss Underage Student?
He's got you there.
Approval? I don't need that. I am not a student. You are talking to the exceptionally promoted monitor assistant of SPDM. Here is my ID.
She holds her ID card high as if she's holding the flag of liberty. But she is ignored. The adult walks directly to a swivel chair in the room, pays attention to an educational toy on the table. Fidget toy?
Did you just ignore a formal administrator of the foundation? This monitor assistant will report every misbehavior of yours. Every little bit of them.
I don't think he cares. Wordless, the monitor assistant can't be more embarrassed in her life. She looks around just to find that Sotheby is gone. Luckily, the chief assistant learns faster than she expected. The familiar sing-song tone is making a report to her own tutor outside the half-open door.
Miss Moisson, we found that report here. The great Miss Buanish and I discovered some important information. I came to you and Madame Z immediately after we read it.
Oh.
Miss Buanish, why are you confronting Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair? Sotheby stands at the door. Her head is tilted. Two adults are behind her.
I didn't expect to see the second half of that report here in your room, Adler.
This time, the owner of the voice can't be ignored. The swivel chair unwillingly turns around.
Don't call me that, friend. Why not just call me Enigma? Just like everyone else. Relax. I know nicknames mean no harm, but I don't understand. How is a report filled with meaningless words of any concern to you, Madam Z?
It provides information about the Arcanist group Virgin is now dealing with. If possible, please give it to me.
Of course. How can I turn down a request from Constantine's chief of staff? Take it away. I hope you don't mind the mold on it.
The researcher stays seated on the chair and casually hands out the report. Madame Z smiles. She seems glad to see that Enigma still has the energy to be sarcastic. But clearly the monitor assistant can't tolerate such a blatant violation of the staff regulations.
Please pay attention to your manners and do not bring disgrace to the computing center, Mr. Rude.
Mr. Rude. I love how she said that. Applause to the VA. Miss Moison taps her on the shoulder and quickly looks in the direction of the door.
Ms. Buanish? Miss Sotheby? You've done a great job. I'm sure what you have found would be of great help to Timekeeper. And I will report your active performance in this mission to SPDM as soon as possible, Miss Buanish. We need to further analyze the files you found. The first on the scene could provide more detailed information. Let's get out of here.
Contribution exceptionnelle!
The key words give this young monitor assistant giddy pleasure. She can't help but ignore everything else Miss Moison says.
Oh la la, exceptionnel! No, no. Calme-toi, Mathilda. I didn't accomplish it alone. Assistant Sotheby also played a significant role. Hooray!
A loud cheer interrupts Matilda's mumbling.
That is to say, Miss Burnish, we can start preparing the balloons and flowers for the twist ball.
Oh, for God's sake.
Speaking of which, this monitor assistant still needs to think about it. By the way, just call me Matilda.
They're becoming friends. Yes, this is what I wanted. She struggles to get out of Sotheby's passionate hug. The great joy brought by Miss Moison makes her actions clumsy. Cheering and discussing, the girls leave the room. Nancy carefully puts the valuable report away. The researcher swivels the chair again and hides himself in the fortress made of dusty items. He talks through cabinets and equipment in a slow manner.
There will be no advance in human technology. You think so? Even thee, Madam Z, has given up on the study of theoretical physics and become a politician.
No. I've never thought of that.
She turns to the door with a faint smile. Oh shit, sorry. Calendar, stop. There is certain tension going on. The door is closed. There's a certain tension in the room there was once the children left. Now I believe this is the last one. Okay. Alright, let's do it. Let's pop the lid. New Direction, Part 6. The dramas have ended. All is profoundly hushed in this cold and dark room. The researcher sighs and starts settling the messy papers and dusty tools on the table. Why is it mistaken for a utility room? Is it because of the mess? Metallic footsteps come from outside the door.
I am astonished by the fact that you are interacting with others.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Hello, lady. Hello, I can't, it's too obvious. She's very shiny. Another trespasser.
They broke in.
The robot in charge of the Laplace Scientific Computing Center shrugs and refuses to make any comments. She has already heard all the information she needs in the corridor.
If it was a complaint that you were making, you know it is within your rights to submit an interdepartmental complaint within 7 days after the incident.
Don't bother. That file means nothing to me. I didn't file it because it is a report against the rules. Why bother to submit such a log full of personal feelings and emotional behaviors to our great, rigorous foundation?
I feel like there was a bit of sarcasm in that.
Is that so? I am gratified to find that you still have some sense.
I too am gratified that you still have no idea that I was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Oh, that was sarcasm.
I love the jacket she has on her. Like, damn, that's a nice jacket. Can you stop for like a second? I don't know what the fuck he's doing. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's doing something with a car outside. I don't know if you guys can hear it.
Never mind. What do you want from me, Madam
That's her name,
Lucy?
Madame Lucy. He asks as he bends down and organizes the papers scattered all over the place. Stop being annoying. This is the best effort he cares to make to receive a guest.
You went all the way to this dusty, rundown place so hurriedly that you even forgot to put on that pathetic mask. This is not because of some old files, I assume.
The faceless robot inclines its head in agreement.
Certainly. I hope you can be the cryptographer of the Manus Vindictes ritual. You are still the best.
What?
You are asking me, a human, to decode the ritual of a pure-blood Arcanist group? I don't see how I'll be helpful to this project.
You cannot evaluate your own level of being of value, Adler.
The researcher keeps unfolding more dusty folders without raising his eyes from the table.
Well, you evaluate our value. Test us in experiments you set. Prove the hypotheses by exhaustion, make mistakes, and start all over again. You repeat the process like a roaring locomotive that pulls the research center out of this chaotic disaster. You question not what is ahead of you, nor whether the path you've taken will be regular or easy. The only idea you planted into your little brain is to move forward, to improve.
Thank you for your compliment. Credit goes to everyone.
That was not even a... Miss Mirgar. Guess you agree. A life without creativity is not worth living. And that's the life that I wake up to every day. I'm no longer the person you thought you came here for. I'll never be able to combine human technology and Arcanum. And I'll never comprehend even the slightest part of it. I am useless to you.
He squares up the papers on the desk in a grumpy manner, making a huge knocking noise.
I don't expect someone made of tin to understand a human mind. But I beg of you, leave me alone.
The robot ignores his emotional speech and keeps talking.
The work of analyzing the masks of Manus Vindictae did not go well. A side effect occurs in the researchers, and it is getting worse. The isolation wards on the basement level are overwhelmed.
What a scene. Have you aborted the experiment?
Not yet. We have conducted the Arcanum imaging experiment on the masks, and found a component which also exists in the raindrops of the storm. But knowing what it is composed of does not help explain how it works. What we're looking for is the original ritual that the Manus cast on them.
Ha! You're trying to figure out one's career planning from one's physical examination report. I wonder why it is not working. Even if somehow you manage to find the original ritual, you still need a proper environment to test it, which is the outside world with a coming storm.
The researcher turns to her, wisdom and sarcasm glow in his eyes.
That's why we can't tell if we're getting results. Even if we had the right ritual, proper permission from the Foundation to travel, and strong-minded volunteer subjects, experiments performed in the Ivory Tower won't succeed because...
An experiment about the storm can only be done in a storm.
Yeah.
Glad to see your brain is not rusty yet. It only took you 3 sentences to draw the conclusion which took the seminar a week to reach.
Thank you for the pun.
That proves you are capable of the project.
The robot in charge puts the document on the table.
The history maintenance team has forecast different critical points of this storm. Foundation investigators are on their way. If Manus Vindictae still plans to accelerate the storm, like what they have done in 1929, there will be a high possibility that their people will show up at the transformation point of history and society, also known as the critical point of time, the center of the storm. Your sister, Greta Hoffman, is also one of the investigators.
Oh, Greta Hoffman, okay. Yeah, it does say her name.
I have no interest in any Hoffmans other than myself. We have different perspectives.
It is okay. I am just here to inform you that, if any of the investigators successfully send the information of the ritual back, the research about the immunity of the storm will be conducted immediately. Take your time and be mentally prepared. But once the storm alert is issued, we only have 24 hours to verify the feasibility of the ritual. I wish you will be fully prepared by then.
The robot gets out of the room, leaving him no right to choose. Her feet crash into the floor, making a steely sound. The fuck? What the fuck just happened there? Enigma's eyes flicker towards the document. Face on the top is familiar to him. Pulls out the drawer and takes out a scrap of paper. This is the last code he didn't give anyone.
One thing is for sure now. The age of humans has come to an end.
Oh shit. Greta Hoffman. Oh shit. I know new story was made. See, it's unlocked now. Woo! It's been unlocked. We won't read it yet. But woo, okay. So, was his sister the writer of it? There you go. I still haven't done the log story challenges. But it's fine. Completed the review. Fourth wall review. Oh, look. Yeah, let's go. I guess before we end this off, I guess we should watch the trailer for the next chapter of the news story. Because I do like to watch the trailers. Because the Reverse 99 team had definitely put a lot of effort into the trailers for chapters and event stories. So we're gonna watch the trailer before we finish for today. Oh la la. Let's get into it. This will hopefully tell me what's going on in this chapter.
A painting based on the mysterious island? The host is Isolde? The opera singer?
Oh, poor thing. Every member of that family met a tragic end. And now
Okay.
her brother.
Shh.
Pretty lady, pretty lady.
Theophil has left us. Behold, my late brother's final painting, inspired by the Golden Isle,
Ooh,
the salvation.
I like it.
Miss Dittersdorf, I know your brother's death has affected you deeply. Doctor, you need to release your oppressions. The rain, the Golden Isle, the island.
And this is our
painting.
team.
Is that where the timekeeper is at now?
How did Theophil know about the storm and the island?
He belonged to an organization called the Circle.
So this
It's
is
the
the team that
symbol
we're
of
going to
the
be with
circle.
in the
Are
chapter.
they really just a group of artists? What do you see
Pretty lady,
in the mirror?
pretty lady.
I see golden circles.
Oh shit,
Theophil.
we
in
have
the
a
fire.
trauma background.
He burned all his paintings.
Oh shit.
And then I heard a shot. All
Ooh.
these assassinations at the same time? Will our people be able to defend themselves on that island? To help them is to help ourselves. I can see how you burned with passion. Welcome to the circle, Miss Marcus. We share the same dream as you.
I am
Ooh.
intrigued by the name of your little group, the Circle.
Okay. Hype.
Even if the world ends tomorrow, we still have a show to watch.
Ayo,
Please,
hype.
enjoy.
Ayo, that's hype. That's hype. So, we're going to spend a portion of the story with the investigators who are investigating the place where the next storm will happen. But by the looks of it, we are going to go back to the island where Verton and the gang are with 37. Ooh. That's Vindicte. Again. We're gonna see Arcanum again. Fuck me. Excuse me, I'm right here. Shut up. Anyways, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm happy that we sort of like caught up on the start. Next week or the week after, I'm not sure if I'm gonna take a short little break from Reverse 1999. I probably won't, but next week or the week after, we will begin this chapter. Yeah. So yeah, that's for when that happens. Apart from that, I am very excited to start the new chapter, and yeah. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.